everyone, Sky here to discuss Jonah Hex, starring Josh Brolin, John Malkovich, Megan Fox, Michael Fassbender, Will Arnett, and Michael Shannon, directed by Jimmy Hayward. Now, I did remember seeing this a couple of times in theaters, and what did I think of it then? Well, let's get into it. Jonah Hex, as I'm going to be referring to him throughout the movie, played by Josh Brolin, does work for Quentin Turnbull, played by John Malkovich, in a terrible performance. And Turnbull betrays Jonah Hex by killing his family with a wife and a son, and Turnbull puts a brand on Jonah Hex's face with a terribly bland narration by Josh Brolin. And it's a shame because I like Josh Brolin in the MCU movie more than here, which he's very bland. The music is misplaced in this movie with all this rock music, and I wasn't buying it right off the bat. I do, however, like the two machine guns in between the horse. I thought that was a pretty cool trick. Some robbers led by Burke, played by Michael Fassbender before he was ever famous, blows up a train track with passengers inside, which looked kind of silly. And Lieutenant Grass, played by Will Arnett, which is a terribly stupid name because it requires the ground, and they try to locate Jonah Hex, and they find him in a bar in bed with Lila, played by Megan Fox. Yes, that Megan Fox from this movie. And I didn't really buy her in this movie, as she's terrible in it, and like she was in Transformers. When Jonah Hex hears Turnbull's name, he knows to go after that son of a bitch, excuse my French. Jonah Hex investigates to find Turnbull. Meanwhile, Wes Bentley talks with Turnbull and gets some fire cannons, let's call them, with Burke, and this plot is ridiculously stupid as hell and is so laughable that it's that funny. Jonah Hex finds a dog that will talk along with him for the rest of the movie, and that dog I liked about this movie, so I'll give the movie another compliment for that. I like the dog sticking with Jonah Hex instead of the circus. I did like that moment in the movie. Jonah Hex gets prepared to kill Turnbull until Burke smells his scents a mile away and knocks his ass down for a few moments, and Jonah Hex escapes, and these villains are absolutely silly and are too stupid to kill Jonah Hex. At a point, I was laughing like crazy. While Jonah Hex is wounded, the dog gets a pack of Indians to cure him as he's dreaming about fighting Turnbull, which I didn't like that sequence. Meanwhile, Turnbull tests his fire cannons as it destroys a town by blowing it up. Was a bad villain cliche. Burke captures Lila, and I had a problem with that scene when it's almost like Burke was, dare I say, raping Lila as he was capturing her. In this movie is PG-13 rated, and this didn't feel like PG-13 as far as I'm concerned. Jonah Hex locates Turnbull at a boat, and Turnbull kills Wes Bentley, and Jonah Hex gets on and fights Burke to the death and kills Burke with the thing that runs the boat and punches him to ash, and that is a terrible fight and terrible CGI by the end of that scene. Jonah Hex finds Lila is being held hostage, and they get chained up, and Lila has a key to get them both out. And the problem with that scene is it's poorly acted, and how the hell is she trapped as a badass is beyond me. It's so stupid. Jonah Hex and Lila kill all of Turnbull's men plus Turnbull himself, and Jonah Hex and Lila jumping off the ship was poor green screen. President Grant offers Jonah Hex a sheriff job but declines, and Jonah Hex goes to Turnbull's grave and to see if he stays dead. Was kind of a terrible way to end this movie, and this movie's been so bad anyways. Now it's time for the rating. I'll give this movie a 2.4 out of 10. There's a couple of things I liked in this movie, but the music doesn't feel like a Western movie. It's so bad. The acting is terrible. The villains are stupid, and honestly, who likes these characters? Not me. That's for damn sure. So I would like to thank you guys for joining me, and next week I will be back with Batman. not starting with Tim Burton, but another one that you'll probably know from Adam West and Burt Ward. And until then, as this movie goes,